Hey everyone, so I wanted to make a video for all of my new 21-day fixers or my soon-to-be 21-day fixers. The point of this video is to give you an idea of what the meal plan is all about that comes with the program. So here you have it. This is the book, and here's the colorful tower of containers that come with it. So the purpose of the 21-day fix meal plan is to help you learn proper portion control of the food that you're eating. As you see, all the containers are color-coded, and the reason for that is because each color corresponds with different food groups. So one of the questions that I get a lot is, that's all I'll be eating? People look at the containers and think that they'll just be filling it once, and then that's all they're going to be eating. Also, another question that I get is that they need to fill all these containers in one meal. Again, not the case. So let me just help you understand the meal plan a little bit. So on page 4 of the meal plan, there is a little formula that you need to add in some numbers and figure out your calorie target. And when you get that target, you will then turn to page 19 and see how many containers fall into your category. So for instance, I fall into the 1200 to 1400 target. So for the 21-day fix, I will be having 2 purple, which is considered 2 servings of fruit. I will be having 3 greens, which is considered 3 servings of vegetables. I'll be having 4 red, which is considered 4 servings of protein. 2 yellow, which is considered 2 servings of carbs. 1 blue, which is considered 1 serving of healthy fats. And 1 orange, which is a serving of seeds or dressing. So when I have that, I then turn to the book, and it will give me a breakdown of all the foods that correspond with each of the containers. So there's the green list of all the vegetables that you can fill the containers with. There's the list of the purple. There's a list of the red, and so on and so on. So it keeps on going. And as you can notice, the lists for the containers are extremely long, so there's lots and lots of options. So once you figure out and have an idea of the different foods that go in each, then all you need to do is create a little meal plan. And when you make your food, let me just give you a little demonstration. I don't have food cooking, but I have my chili cooking over there. So let's say, okay, 1 red, 1 green, and 1 yellow. That's the containers that I use for my dinner, for instance. That's how I decided to do it. So I would take my chicken and I would put it inside of my container. I would put my mixed vegetables in with my green container, and I would take my sweet potato and I would put it inside my yellow container. And once I do so, I will just dump it on my plate and I'm done, and I just eat. So what I personally loved about this meal plan that attracted me to it was the fact that I was able to make meals for the whole family that everyone would like. And I make their plates, I make my kids' plates, and then I just take an extra few seconds and I fill up my containers and put it on my plate. Easy as that. And then in time, I just want to point out, sometimes people are like, I don't want to use that forever. No, it's not about using it forever. It's to teach you proper portion control. So in time, your eyes are going to be so used to how much of a serving of meat is that when you're plating your plate, you're going to be able to know that and not have to worry about it. So it'll eventually become memory. So yeah, there's an idea of that. I'm gonna switch to another video and give you an idea of how I started and figured out each of my containers. So roll the clip. So here's a little template that I made when I did my first round of 21-day fix. I'm a visual kind of gal, so having something like this to look at made it easier for me to plan my meals and make sure that I was staying within my container count. So before I made this little colorful piece of paper, it looks like it's done by a kindergarten, I went to my eating plan and got my calorie target on page 4 and also got my total container count on page 19. And I transferred it over here. When I had my total count of containers, I then wrote out my 6 meals throughout the day, and I separated all of my containers throughout the day to ensure at the end of the day all of my containers were used up, or at least try to use all of them up. To make it easier on myself for the first 3 weeks, I made sure to stick within this container count template, I guess you can call it. And it doesn't mean that I ate the same foods for the 3 weeks, but I did make sure that my breakfast had one red, one purple, you know, my snack for the 3 weeks and stuff followed with this little template. I did this to make it easier for my meal planning. So every Sunday when I wanted to write out my meals for the week and go grocery shopping, I had an idea of what I needed to make sure I had for each of my meals. So it was kind of like one step ahead of the game without trying to wing it and make sure that I met my container count for the day. So it's up to you on how you would want to, you know, make a little plan like this, or how you want to keep track of your containers. There's also the 21-day app that you can have to track your meals and stuff. But just for starters, I recommend for you to just really take the time to read through the eating plan and get an idea of what counts for each of the containers. So when you are doing your meal plan, when you see one green, you know, okay, I need a vegetable, you know, when you see one purple, you know, okay, I need to get a fruit in there, and so on and so on. So just really take the time to read through the meal plan and have a good understanding. And I just want to point out, if you do feel overwhelmed or confused about the meal plan, don't worry, you're not alone. A lot of people, you know, tend to overthink this a little bit and, you know, make it more than what it really is. So just take a deep breath, read the meal plan, and just try your best. That's all that matters. See, try your best and forget the rest. That's something I even said to myself when I first started. So try not to overthink it. So I'm just going to give you an idea of, you know, what I did for my first week and how I used up my containers. So for breakfast, as you see, I have one red and one purple, which is one protein and one fruit. And what I chose was to have my Shakeology mixed with some fruit. If you're not a Shakeology drinker, that could represent one red container of oatmeal and some sliced up fruit on the side, or even topped with fruit. Snack one, I would have one red and one yellow, which is one protein and half, I have half carb, not one yellow. And for me, I would do Greek yogurt and some oats. For lunch, I would have myself some salad with some meat, so that would correspond with some dressing, which is one orange, a vegetable, some vegetables, and one meat. For my snack two, I would have one green and one blue, which I usually turn to some mixed fresh vegetables dipped with some hummus. So one blue would be the hummus. For dinner, I would make sure that I had one red, one green, one yellow, and 1 teaspoon, which is just oil. So I would, you know, make up some chicken, put some mixed vegetables, and have 1.5 servings of either rice or sweet potato. And for snack three, I would have one purple, 1 teaspoon, which is one fruit, and 1 teaspoon. And for me, I have sweet tooth at nighttime, so I save my purple for at the end of the day. So I usually have an apple sliced up, drizzled with 1 teaspoon of peanut butter. So just because that's again, I want to point out, just because that's the food that I ate doesn't mean that's what you have to eat. That's where this book comes into play for you to check out what goes in each of the containers and kind of go within your taste buds. Just the only thing that you need to focus on is making sure that your container count at the end of the day adds up to the total. So just break it down however you prefer, and just try your best. That's all that really matters. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions, and because I'm here for you the whole way. All right, bye-bye.